Good morning, everyone. My name is Farida Odengi Suleiman, the General Manager, External Affairs of KAM Holding Nigerian Limited, the largest indigenous steel industry in Nigeria, the flagship of Nigeria. KAM industry is a wholly indigenous steel industry in Nigeria, owned by Dr. Kamaruddin Yusuf, MON. He's the MD CEO of KAM Holding. KAM Holding is a conglomerate of different companies, and the steel industry, we have KAM Industries, we have KAM Steel Integrated, we have KAM Wire, we have KAM Steel Industry Shagamu. KAM Holding has companies spread across Nigeria. We have KAM Industries corporate headquarters in Ilorin, Kwara State. We have KAM Steel Integrated Shagamu, Ogun State. We have Dimkit Global, Kaduna State. We have Dimkit Global, Asaba Delta State. We're spread across the geopolitical zones of Nigeria. We're in the southwest, we're in the northwest, we're in the south-south, we're in the north-central. KAM Industry, owned by Dr. Kamaruddin Yusuf, was established in 1996. It was strictly for the production of roofing sheets and nails when he now ventured into the premium product, which is wrought iron and stone-coated roofing sheets. KAM Industries Nigerian Limited, or KAM Holding Nigerian Limited, facilities in Nigeria are of state-of-the-art. We have the electrical arc furnace, which is the only one in the whole of Nigeria, only one in the whole of West Africa, and I think the second in the whole of Africa, that melts scraps into liquid steel and produces rebars, rod irons, the BRT rod irons. KAM Holding Nigerian Limited has ventured into a lot of community development. They've been able to build roads, hospitals, schools in Kwara State, where we have the corporate headquarters. We also have the corporate headquarters here in Abuja, the seat of government. KAM Industries is a company that has hosted different programs on behalf of Nigerian government. We have been on the Industrial Council Committee headed by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. KAM Industries produces steel, liquid steel of 600,000 metric tons per annum, and 150 metric ton capacity we produce wire coils per annum. I will tell you that that KAM Holding is second to none in Nigeria. It is the largest in capacity. It is the largest in modern technology. It is the largest in human capital development. KAM Holding has the highest certification of steel manufacturing in the world, which is the UK KES, and we are certified by them. As I said earlier, KAM Industries, wholly indigenous, owned only by a Nigerian, Dr. Kamaru Yusuf, who has stood in the steel sector as the steel man of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He's been able to give jobs, opportunities, he's been able to grow, he's been able to mentor, he's been able to lead a lot at the steel sector. The steel sector is very important to the growth of Nigeria. There is no economy or no country grows without its steel sector being in good shape. And that's why the Nigerian government is proud of KAM Industries. It's been raising the flag very high in the country and even abroad. The steel sector is very important for the growth of our economy. It will create employment. It will expand industrialization in Nigeria. So it's indeed a bedrock of any growing economy. Steel sector is not a sector to toy with. It's a sector that every government should look into, and steel sector is one sector that can create jobs in thousands and millions chain of jobs within that particular sector. And that's why I said it will grow any economy, it will grow the GDP, and industrialization will boom in any economy where steel sector is given priority, when steel sector is really looked into, because the steel sector, there's actually virtually nothing you do without steel. Steel sector is a sector that will give growth to Nigerian economy. Nigerian faces a lot of challenges when it comes to the steel sector, especially I'll talk basically on the steel sector. The steel sector has been neglected by the government, but not neglected by the private sector. The private sector is really doing a lot to fly the flag of Nigeria in the steel sector. Basically, the challenges is nothing but policies that will enable the steel sector drive easily. We all know that the steel sector is highly capital intensive and needs funds. Very is a sector that for you to get it right, you must invest heavily in that sector. So Nigerian government, I think, should really look at investing heavily. It has invested in the 80s and the 70s and in the 90s in the steel sector. That's why we have the Abuja Steel Complex, which today is the present day government is trying to revive and get back to work. So the steel sector is not a sector to toy with. It's a sector that needs friendly policies to make it work, because you need huge finances to run that sector. It's not a sector that you will allow to be toyed with. So the major challenge I think Nigeria is having in the steel sector is government will to ensure that that sector thrives. And it can only thrive if the government invests in it. Yes, Nigerian government, today's government in Nigeria is trying its best to ensure that it revives the steel sector in Nigeria. Like I said, the sector is highly capital intensive. As such, Nigerian government has opened its doors to finances and investment opportunities in Nigeria for people to come in and invest in the steel sector. They're exploiting the mining sector, exploiting even the production sector. So for the Ajakuta steel industry, which I know is wholly owned by Nigerian, 100% owned by Nigeria, today have gotten investors that are ready to take over that complex and start producing steel. So Nigerian government is on the right track in trying to ensure that the steel sector is revived in Nigeria, as they know what the steel sector can do. It can create employment, it can increase the foreign exchange for Nigeria, it can create chains of production. Companies like the motor car companies can begin to come into the country to put up factories and industries, and that will help the growth of Nigeria. So Nigerian government is in the right direction, ensuring that the steel business is not something to toy with, and they're investing in it to ensure that it comes on board. The role of women in the steel sector is very minimal. But I'll talk based on our own company, which is the KAM Holding Nigeria Limited. I tell you today, We have over 300 women in our nail sector, manufacturing nails, producing nails, packaging nails, and also custodians of our nail factory. You need to see how beautiful you see women operating the machines, producing nails, and I bet you they do it absolutely very well. At the managerial level, in our own company, I'm at the management team, and there are other women too on the management team. Women are playing vital roles. As we know, women are good administrators, women are always very detailed in whatever they do as such. But I'll pray we have more openings for women at the steel sector to engage more women, because it's highly capital intensive, it is highly, very mechanized sector. So, and you need the energy. It's not easy to run a steel company or a steel complex. I tell you, so it's not something that really women can do without the support of the men. So, but I think it's a sector that a lot of women should look into it and begin to think on how to invest in the steel sector. The steel sector is a sector that is highly capital intensive. It needs a lot of machineries. It needs a lot of finances to get it running. So it's not really easy for women. We're very few women in the steel sector in Nigeria. But I think with time, as growth comes, we will begin to see more women in the steel sector. We chose to be gold sponsors of the Nigerian Mining Week because we're the largest indigenous steel industry in Nigeria, second to none, like I said earlier. We decided to be the gold sponsor for this year mining week in Nigeria just because we are the largest, we're the biggest, just because we've done it, we've practicalized it, and it's working. A lot of people think the steel sector is too large, it needs a lot of finance, and they're not venturing into it. But we've been able to show that it is doable. We've been able to show that we can do it. And so we chose to be gold sponsors so that we can tell Nigerians that it is doable. There's a Nigerian doing it, and that Nigerian is absolutely doing it well. You need to know they exist. You need to come and see what a Nigerian has done, flying the Nigerian flag. Is not just doing it in Nigeria. We have a company in China. We're the first Nigeria we're the first Nigerian to have a company in a particular province in China. So also India. We're not just bringing in to consume in Nigeria. We're creating employment in China. We're creating employment in India. A Nigerian is doing it proudly, and that's Dr. Kamaruddin Yusuf. And that's why we have chosen to be the gold sponsor for the steel sector of the Nigerian Mining Week, to be able to show to the world that a Nigerian is proudly flying the flag of Nigerians of Nigeria in the steel sector. I really want to appreciate the Nigerian Mining Week organizers for giving us this opportunity to showcase what we've been able to do, what we can do, and what we will do going forward. We will want to tell Nigerian government that we appreciate them for giving us the opportunity to be flying the flag high as the largest indigenous steel industry in Nigeria. We're an employer of over 5,000 direct employment and indirect over a chain of 10,000, because there's a lot of chain indirectly in the steel sector. And as I said earlier, we're looking into venturing into the iron ore, the mining sector, which is the iron ore. So we stop using, because our major source of raw material is the scrap. We want to venture into the mining of iron ore, so we begin to get our own solid steel for our production. But I bet you the quality we produce now is the highest quality you can get anywhere in the world. As such, I will want Dr. Kamaruddin Yusuf to be encouraged by Nigerian government, to be encouraged by the international community, to be encouraged by African, because he's really doing what a lot of people don't think an African can do. He's employing over 2,200 expatriates in Nigeria, working directly at the operations of the company. He's not just employing Nigerians, he's employing foreigners. That means he's increasing the bilateral agreements of Nigeria with India, with China, with other African countries. As such, I would really want him to be encouraged. I would really want him to be seen as a mentor to a lot of people. We're open to mentorship. We're open to growth of the steel sector for anybody that is interested. We're policy driven. We always encourage Nigerian government to look at people doing things practical, not just people coming with the books and saying this is what we're doing, this is what we're not doing. Presently, as I tell you, we have corporate customers like the Chinese construction company, the federal government of Nigeria through the Ministry of Works. Most of the contractors buy their steel products from KAM Industries. We have big real estate developers that are customers, the Cross Grove. We have the Triacta is a big company in Nigeria that is also buying products from us. We've stood time. Almost all the road construction jobs going on in Nigeria today are being our products are being used. And the southeast presently they're constructing roads with our wrought irons of very high grade and standard. We've not failed. There was no time our product has been taken anywhere and it has failed. There was no time our product has been queried by Standard Organization of Nigeria. The books are there for checks. I'll bet that our premium product, which is the stone-coated roofing sheets, are in the largest multinational estates here in the seat of government. They are verifiable. We're not talking about things that are not doable. For even Nigerian efforts to be patronizing us, you can imagine what it means. It means our quality is really standing time. So I tell Nigerians to look out for KAM Industries, the leader in the steel industry. We'll continue to lead, we'll continue to expand, we'll continue to grow, we'll continue to flag the Nigerian flag very high. I wish the Nigerian Mining Week a successful outing. Thank you.